Welcome to the COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show, the final COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show of the year, brought to you by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, Hy-Vee, Lake of the Ozarks and Osage Beach, and Polylift Boat Lifts. This is your COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show, and unfortunately the last Coaches Show of the year. The 12th show we've done this year with head coach Jeff Shore, so that means you've had to put up with me for, 3 months this year, huh?
It's been good.
It has been good. We started out over at Bob Shore Stadium.
Yep.
Before the first game. It was hot. It was August, 100 degrees, and out here, it's still pretty nice out here.
Pretty nice.
Can't beat this. So the last game of the year, a playoff game, district semifinal at Washington, turned out to be a great game. You just kind of came up a little short.
Yeah, we played a really actually pretty good ball game. I thought our defense played really well, played hard. Unfortunately, had a few things not go our way. It was nip and tuck. They scored with a minute 4 left to win the game. Had a couple chances there late, but it was kind of a miracle type deal to get it done. So. It's like I said, proud of our kids. We've had an up and down year a little bit, obviously. Very thankful we got to play all our ball games. Probably one of the few teams that did not get a game canceled.
Yeah.
So very thankful for that. If you told me at the start of the year that we got to play in this many ball games, I would, it would have been a toss-up for sure. So, thankful for that, and thankful our guys kept playing hard. Like I said, we had some up and down times, but kept playing hard and actually played a really tight ball game on Friday night. Had our chances, just didn't happen for us.
And it's kind of a microcosm of the season where played really well at times, played well enough to win at times. Sometimes the breaks seem to go against you, and it just kind of seemed to be a year of that.
It did, and you could point to this game as kind of a microcosm of the season. They put the ball on the ground 3 or 4 times in crucial situations, and we didn't come up with any of them. And we had our own set of turnovers and things like that. So, it was just, one of those years that it seemed to be, like I said, a roller coaster ride at times. So, like I said, proud of our guys. It was still a great season. An odd year with 2020, but very grateful that we got to play.
Boy, it's been an odd year in a whole lot of ways. This is your COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show. So who were some of the guys that grew the most over the season this year that kind of stick out in your mind?
Well, Coop had a fantastic year on offense. Cooper Ezard caught over 100 footballs.
Wow.
I'm guessing probably leading the whole state of Missouri all classes. I haven't checked today, but I'm sure it is. Had a tremendous year, obviously, and coming off a great year. Last year it was hard to imagine that he could better that year, and he did. So that was fantastic. As far as that goes. On the defensive end, had a bunch of young guys. Wiley Powers really, came on at a linebacker position and played really well. Jaden Parkman. Played really well. Both those guys are sophomores, so from the time they started until the end of the season, they did a great job. And Wormsley, our quarterback, Jacob, really ended up having a really fantastic year. I think he led Class 5 in passing. It's maybe number 3 in the state. So he really came on from the start to the finish. And a bunch of other guys. You could talk all day on different things. Philip Curley, who had put in his time, effort, and energy forever, and ends up starting for us this year and did a really nice job. So, all kind of guys out there that played well. But I said, we were young in spots and old in spots, but I felt like overall, we kept getting a little bit better as the year went. And like I said, that last one, it always ends bad or it doesn't end.
Where does that come from?
A quote from Tom Cruise in the movie Cocktail.
There you go.
For you people that are older around there, but that's true. I mean, there's only been a few times any team is always going to end bad, or it's not going to end. You're going to keep winning. So it's always tough to see it end, especially after you've put in so much time from the summer till all the way till now. It's a long, it's a grinder. It's a long battle, and so it's tough, and then all of a sudden it's over. But that's the nature of it.
So when you look back as a coach, when you're retired and whatever, and you look back at the seasons and stuff like that, What will stick out in your mind of this season?
I think our big win of Jeff City.
Yeah.
I think that was as far as the actual wins and losses type thing. I thought it was a great win for our kids there. Just a real positive for our season. We played not so good the week before, and nobody gave up the ship and kept going, and so I think that was a big win for us. We had a couple of comeback wins against Waynesville, and kept fighting. So there's always fantastic things out of a season, and the older you get, the more. I mean, you want to win all kind of games you can win. Don't get me wrong, but you realize that there's more important things than the wins and losses. So I was proud of the way our kids bounced back and were resilient.
And and you guys reached a huge milestone this year amidst it all of what is it, 500 career wins for the Lakers
program wins. Yeah, that was a huge deal, and a big part for these guys. A huge thing for them to be a part of. That's, like I said, that's a ton of wins and a lot of different guys. And the neat thing about it is that's a whole community achievement. From the top to the bottom, from guys all the way back to when football started here to now. So, and their parents and other people that have been a part of it, whether it be cheerleaders, band members, just people that are involved with Camdenton football. So, it was that was a great part about the year for sure, and the ability to recognize so many different people that have been a part of pretty unique, pretty successful thing.
Absolutely. This is your COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show with head coach Jeff Shore. We'll talk a little bit about next season. We'll talk about Thanksgiving maybe, and we'll talk about Uncle Roy. Who's this Uncle Roy? We'll talk about that coming up next here on your Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show. What is COMC? A health center where everyone has access to high-quality, affordable medical, dental, and behavioral health care, regardless of insurance or ability to pay. Offering primary care, preventative, chronic, pediatrics, and OBGYN. COMC even offers comprehensive dental and same-day emergency care. A health center that focuses on every aspect of your health. Everything your family needs to stay healthy. At COMC, your health is our mission.
Polylift Boat Lifts. Boaters everywhere have relied on Polylift Boat Lifts to raise their boat up and out of the water time and time again. Polylift Boat Lifts are made of the finest materials and offer a lifetime warranty on the tanks. Stop by Polylift and see the huge selection of wet steps, water toys, and dock accessories. You can even shop online at polylift.com. Polylift Boat Lifts. You know what they say.
We got time to build boat lifts. We build Polylifts.
Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Aisles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle. Back with your COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show, brought to you by the great folks at Central Ozark Medical Center, Polylift Boat Lifts, and Hy-Vee Lake of the Ozarks. Head coach Jeff Shore has been kind enough to give us his time every Monday during the season. Thank you, Coach. So this season's done, over with. Great season in a lot of ways, tough season in some ways. What do you have next year? What kind of talent are you looking at next year?
Well, the good news is, like I said, we were really young this year. I felt like we progressed a long way. So we've got a lot of guys coming back. A lot of skill guys, from the quarterback position to the receiver position, which obviously we're throwing the ball a lot, so that helps. And a lot of young skill guys. We'll still be young again next year. We'll still be, predominantly a younger crew next year. The other positive is our juniors that will be seniors next year. We've got a good nucleus of them, and they played well and really, I thought, progressed and came on as the season went. So it's always great to have that. So, I think the future's good. Obviously, I think the talent-wise, we're there. We've got to find some guys on the line, the defensive and offensive line, but we've got the guys there. So, just depends on the work in the weight room and those kind of things. But there's definitely some guys there that can fill those spots. But that'll be our main area of focus probably. in the winter is getting in the weight room and getting some guys, on that defensive, offensive line prepped to go. And yeah, it looks good. I mean, we always plan to have a good one. So I'm excited. Excited to get a week off here. That's kind of nice, though, too. And give the kids some time off too. They need it. That's a long grind of a season. So we'll give them a couple weeks off. And the guys that aren't playing other things, we'll get in the weight room, and then we'll go from there.
So what's it like for a coach when a season comes to an end? Is it kind of a shock that there's no more practice, no more football? Is it kind of a relief? What goes through your mind?
It's tough. It's probably a little harder than you even think, because you've got a group of guys that have we're so fortunate here to have such, I'd say, Laker pride, I guess you'd say. So many coaches that have been here so long, so many coaches that have played here. So you really, your heart and soul goes out to them. So it's hard. It's hard to lose the senior guys. You don't want to, see it end. That's a hard thing. You can remember the times you guys played football out there, the time that you played your last football game. That's tough. Football's not a sport you get to play your whole life. You can't go out. You can go out and play golf till you're 70 or 80, and pick up basketball or bowling, but you can't play football. You can't. You're not going to put the pads on right now and that's not going to go play a real football game. So it's a unique time in their life. So that's hard on that end. And then you feel like you've been through a 10-week, even longer than that battle, and you kind of just take your armor off at the end of it, and just you're a little tired. But the great thing about kids and even coaching is after a couple of days you kind of regroup, and then you're back to getting to do some other things in your life too, because it does dominate your life. So it's always nice. That fog kind of lifts, I call it, that football fog lifts, and you start seeing other things. You start seeing the color of the trees a little bit and change, different things like that. So it's a unique deal, and it's an interesting vocation. You get judged every Friday night on what you do.
Yep.
And you're trying to do the best you can to do that, and it's an interesting way to make a living.
You're kind of lucky though in that your dad was also a coach, and I'm guessing he has given you such great advice through all times and situations. Like, yeah, Jeff, this is what happens when this happens, and hey, you might think about doing this. Not just winning games, but when the season's over, probably too.
No, he is fantastic, and mainly he was a guy that led by example. So, anything that, and I've had the good fortune to see him my whole life growing up. So he always handled things really well, and tried to keep it in perspective the best he could. And so he is truly a guy that obviously he's my dad, but also a guy that I really look up to in that area. So in all areas, but in that area for sure, football wise, he's shown me a lot of different things. And I've been lucky. We've had, and I hope us as coaches can do the same thing. We're not perfect, but I've been lucky to have those guys in my life. He, Coach Silverwood, Pappy, Carl Hunter, guys like that really you can emulate after, some of your life after, and they've given you some good lessons down the road.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so we've got Thanksgiving coming up. Now, what are you most thankful for this year?
My family, number one. I mean, I got a fantastic wife and children, and it's kind of neat. They're all at home right now, which is unusual. I've got two of them graduated from college,
Yeah.
And they're back home, and that's kind of the.
Are they sucking down the groceries? What's going
right.
on over there?
There's been some bad things about COVID and some good, and seeing my kids a little bit longer has been awesome. So that's been great, and I'm thankful that our, from a football perspective, like I said, that we've got to play ball games and got through it healthy with our kids.
We can't leave without talking about Uncle Roy. Okay, so like week one, when we show up to do the first COMC Camdenton Lakers coaches show, you called me Uncle Roy, and I'm like, Uncle Roy? Who's Uncle Roy?
Well, first time I met you, I said, man, that guy, he looks so familiar. And then it dawned on me, it's my Uncle Roy. And you know, Uncle Roy, you are spinning somebody. It's called a doppelganger, right? That's
Now
what they call it.
he is one good-looking dude, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Now we're talking from the neck up. Now, Uncle Roy's a bodybuilder, so.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So the best part
yeah.
of Uncle Roy, that's not here.
Well, so he's Uncle Roy's in his mid-70s and looks like a man of about 45. So. From the neck down, you know,
Right.
from the neck up, you guys look very similar, though. I will say that.
All right. Well, I take that as a compliment. But throughout the season, it's kind of funny. I'll send you a text or say something saying "Good luck tonight," you know, and you'll say, "Well, thanks, Uncle Roy." You know, I mean, it was just kind of a fun thing throughout the
I
season.
hope to have a picture of Uncle Roy that we can get put up, but. Yeah, so he's a little older than you, so I'll try to get one about when he's your age.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Mr. America. I'll take that part of it.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for your time. It's been an honor to sit down with you every week and get your time and talk Lakers football.
I would like to say one thing. Thanks to our fans, community, our school, you know, for making it happen this year. And our parents of our players, you know, we never go without a meal. You know, we're never hungry. You know, our parents are so supportive, and so are our fans, and our school district for getting this. You know, Dr. Kurtz and our school for getting this worked through. You know, this is a weird year, and they did a great job of getting this, getting a football season for us. So appreciate that. I need to say that because we are, like I said, nobody's feeling sorry for us. We've got it great here, and so, like I said, we'll get ready for next year and get ready to go. And it's been a pleasure meeting you guys. I've looked forward to it every Monday. And thanks for our coverage of the Lakers.
Thank you, sir. We have enjoyed it too. So that is your COMC Camdenton Lakers Coaches Show, brought to you by the amazing folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, Polylift Boat Lifts, and Hy-Vee Lake of the Ozarks.